Alrighty. Okay, so this video here is going to be about reversing insomnia, improving sleep. That was something that I dealt with some years back. That I just, it was really, really hard for me to sleep. I mean, it got really, really bad. On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being like the worst, kind of sleep disorder I probably had, about a 10. I mean, it was that bad. I would go days on end where I could only sleep an hour or two. And actually weeks is really what it turned into. So in that time, in about the 5-6 months that I had that problem, I learned a lot. I learned a lot, and I'm going to skip the details so I can go right into the instructional to help whoever watches this. So there's different steps here that we want to apply to reverse it. Okay, and we're going to talk about using EFT, the EFT tapping, assuming that some of you know how to do that. I'm not going to really get into that too much here because I have enough to where this is probably going to cover 2 parts, 2 like 9 or 10 minute videos here. So I don't want to go into a long thing on how to do EFT. You can look at my other videos for that. But so let's go into the dynamics of what's going on and how to really, really reverse that in a practical way. Okay. So one of the things that we need to look at is finding out what's stressing you out. Okay, what kind of general thing in life may be stressing you out, and addressing that with the EFT tapping, really, really getting good at at stress relief. Okay, and working with affirmations and changing your belief systems. You can look at some of my other videos on how to do that. So that's a big part of it, is bringing awareness to your stress. But here's one part of the insomnia puzzle that a lot of people are missing. Very few people understand this. Even books on insomnia. Most books that I read on insomnia, and I probably read at least 4 or 5, most of them do not even address this. You have to address your anxiety around sleep itself. Okay, that into itself can become a stress issue. For me, it was interesting because that was the primary thing that was causing my insomnia. People would kind of say, oh, well, what's wrong with you? What's on your mind that's causing you the insomnia? And I would say, I'm just worried about not being able to sleep. And it's like people weren't happy with that. They thought, that I was like severely out of touch with, my emotions and my feelings, and they wanted like some deep-seated answer, some really deep, kind of psychoanalytical type of like response. And it wasn't that. What it was is that after a few weeks, I started to get panicky about not being able to sleep, and that panic just is what kept me up. That's what my primary anxiety was. Okay, so what you want to do is put emphasis on that, and the way to reverse that is to now focus. You want to be careful. See, it's so simple, but this is how I reversed it. This was the step 1, the main thing that I finally did to reverse my insomnia. And I didn't get this from any of the books that I read, strangely enough. Books that were written by like sleep experts and stuff. Some of them were decent. I'm not saying they were like all horrible, and I did learn things from them without a doubt. But what got me to reverse the insomnia was basically looking at how to reprogram my mind in that area. Okay, and what I started doing is I just created a simple affirmation that it was something like my sleep is gradually getting better and better, and I just started affirming that my sleep is gradually getting better and better. I would affirm that maybe between like 40 to 100 times a day. Just all throughout the day, I would focus on that, and just kind of keep saying that affirmation, and that started to relax me. Not right away, but little by little, it started to relax me. Over the course of, let's say, at least within a week, I was already, less anxious about it. Because you need to reprogram your mind to believe that you can sleep again, because you've created a kind of like self-concept of you being somebody that has difficulty sleeping, right? I am an insomniac, I'm somebody that has difficulty sleeping, so now that's how you see yourself. So you want to create an image of you being somebody that can easily fall asleep, or at least sleep well. So address what's stressing you out, and also address the sleep itself, and create an affirmation like, and that's a good one, my sleep is gradually getting better and better. You want to use something like gradually getting better and better, because you don't want to imagine you're going to be able to sleep that night, because that's unrealistic for most people. I mean, unless you worked, with somebody like myself that would do a lot of, energy work and tapping that can really, really deeply relax you. But if it's intense, even with my work, it may not, shift overnight. I mean, maybe within a week, but even with that, it wouldn't necessarily shift overnight. So you want to just say gradually, just so you can start reversing that. And not put pressure on yourself to sleep well that same night. By taking the pressure away, kind of like paradoxically, you probably will sleep better right away because the pressure isn't on. Okay, so that's another step. And another thing that you want to do aside from the affirmations is use EFT tapping. So you want to tap, and this video I don't have time to get into how to do that. You want to tap on the things that stress you out, whatever it is. Just tap, tap, tap on things that stress you out, and tap on sleep stress. So you can just use that as the EFT statement. Focus on yourself sleeping that night, okay? And it may conjure up some stress about, oh my God, I'm probably not going to be able to sleep. Another night I'm not going to sleep well. So tap on that and just say sleep stress. We're just going to keep it simple. So tap, on the meridian points, sleep stress, sleep stress, sleep stress, sleep stress, sleep stress. I mean, I'm going really fast here because I have a lot to cover. Sleep stress, and just go through all the points until you feel yourself bringing the stress down. And it should start going down, okay? So, and you want to do that, do the affirmations and the tapping, early through the day as much as you can. And the sleep stress stuff, I would suggest doing that, in the morning or afternoon, and also at night. Do the tapping at least twice on that. You want to just really be thorough. You don't want to underdo it and just do 5 minutes before, you ideally want to get to bed. Don't leave it for the last minute, because at that point you may be so stressed out about it that doing the tapping, it's just like you're already overwhelmed. And you don't want to tap, when you're overwhelmed, because it makes it much, much harder to work. And then you'll want to give up on it because you're going to feel like it's not working. But if you tap on it early, you've already quieted down your mind. And then if you do a little bit again before you go to bed, even if it's just 2 or 3 minutes, believe it or not, it'll work way better. So I suggest doing the tapping, morning, afternoon, and evening, even if it's just 2 to 3 minutes each time. 2-3 minutes each time. Even that's enough. But if you can do a little more, do more. If you can do 5 to 10 minutes, that's even better. Okay. So that's the other part of it. Now the other thing now is you want to look also at trying to get in some exercise. That was also what helped me a lot. The two main things were the affirmations and getting in a lot of exercise, particularly cardio, just kind of exhausting myself physically. Okay, so you want to do that. Find a way, to move your body around a lot. That was crucial for me at the time. Okay, for me at the time it was crucial. Some people may be able to get away with not necessarily getting in, too much of the exercise, but I suggest you do it anyway, for a million other reasons, exercise. But that was the other thing, is I just wanted to exhaust myself. So, I would aim to do the cardio around the early evening is what I chose. But it could be between the morning and the early evening. You don't want to work out too late, because then that can kind of like rev up your mind, and that can actually have a reverse effect. So that's why it's good to do it, at least, I would say minimum, if you can finish your cardio, minimum like 3.5-4 hours prior to what your bedtime is. But it should probably be way more than that. It should probably be more like 5-6 hours before you get to bed. Okay, so that's the other part of it. Now, another thing is how to reprogram your inner clock so that you can sleep. Okay, and that's going to be on the next video. So I'm going to wrap this one up and continue on with the next one. Thanks.